your week, babe?
Week was good. How was yours?
Exhausting.
Yeah, for sure. What up, fam? How was your week? Today we are going to talk about accountability in marriages or marriage. Marriage.
Marriage is what brings us together today.
You want to share your story of the week?
Sure. So, I'm in the middle of reorganizing our schoolroom because I homeschool. So, the kids have been super excited because I moved all of our school stuff into one of the bedrooms, and it took a good 2-3 weeks to empty it out and clean it, and now I'm just like putting everything back, and I've been so excited to do that I've been staying up late and I'm super tired because of it, but in my mind I'm always go go go. So then yesterday, and this never happens, but my body just crashed like around 7:30, and we were supposed to be praying like the last decade of the rosary, and like I think I fell asleep throughout it. That never happens. And then I just went straight to bed, and Eddie had to put the kids to sleep, and I don't even know what happened. I was so tired. So that was my week.
Woo! Week. The same day, she had a meeting at 3:30 with the city of Chino to talk about stuff with our dance group. She couldn't find a babysitter, so she called me at work and asked me if I can come home. And I wasn't doing anything pressing, so I got home early, and to my surprise, Melinda was working on a shelf for her schoolroom with her dad in our living room. All the kids were asleep, and I was like, man, the opportunities when they're asleep. And, but, you know, she's working on something right now, so I had to re-strategize my game plan. And then she was telling me that, okay, while I'm gone, you need to pray the rosary, clean, and make sure the kids clean their rooms. I ended up being able to complete dinner and having the kids clean their rooms. We went to Target to get some stuff. We prayed the rosary when we were doing our errands. Got home, everyone was hungry. So I was cooking dinner, and it was just like, I didn't have John because thankfully Melinda took him. But like, every time she leaves me the 4 kids, I'm like, perfect, you know, they can handle themselves because they just play, and you know, they're all walking, so I really don't have to do much. And I think it's like party time. Not the case, because when I was cooking dinner, it was just like, Matan's hungry and Azariah were hungry. I warmed up some tacos and they were eating, and then so I started cooking Elena and Ave stuff, and then by the next thing I know, the tacos were on the floor, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And so I cleaned it up while the girls' food was warming up, and then the noise level just kept going through the roof. Ave and Matan are yelling at each other, and then it's just like, what? Oh my gosh. And so by the time Melinda got home at 6 o'clock, all I wanted to do was curl up in a ball in the corner and give her praise on how great she does every single day. That was my story for the week. Are you gonna feed? You do it anyway in front of people. I'm no different in front of the family, you know? Do you want to give your perspective
Yes.
on accountability in marriage first?
So I just wanted to say that marriage is an incredibly awesome vocation, but it's also very, very difficult. And in this 9 years, just 9 years, we're still in the beginning. We're rookies still. So much has happened, ups and downs, and it's been an adventure for sure. So I just wanted to share that. So basically we're talking about accountability, and for me, I think that means that we need to kind of own our feelings, our personal feelings, but yet also be open to sharing them with each other.
Yes.
Openness is incredibly important, and honesty, obviously. I would say about a year ago, it was really hard for me to be open to Eddie, like to share my feelings if I was like upset or if I was holding something inside. It was very difficult for me to share. And I think I would just like bottle it up, and then I would explode at one point, and that was not healthy. So I think over the years I've gotten better. Would you say?
I think the more that I prove to you that I'm not just gonna yell at you when you tell me stuff or get angry or upset, I think you become more open.
Yes, that is true. I used to be afraid.
Yeah, so it's kind of my fault. But I mean, come on, own up to your own faults.
Do you have a specific story? You want
I
to
got
share?
my notes because I'm not very good at speaking. That's why all my edits are like choppy. The way I look at things, it's very interrelated with my faith. So when I think of accountability, nothing really clicks. So what I usually do when nothing clicks and nothing comes to mind, I usually look up like a synonym to see what does click. And responsibilities came up. When I think of my responsibilities, well, I think immediately that I'm responsible for getting myself to heaven. I'm responsible for getting Melinda to heaven, and also my kids. But we're talking specifically towards marriage today, so I'll focus on my responsibilities to getting Melinda to heaven. I have to consider what she feels will get her to heaven, because she knows herself best and she knows where God is leading her. And since it's a team effort, we have to be in communication with how we see ourselves growing. And so when we first got married, she told me she wanted basically three things: was for me to be the leader of the family, stay-at-home mom, and homeschool their kids. And if you want to look at my story of how I came to be okay with Melinda homeschooling, because I know that's like a big thing. Like being a stay-at-home mom is already a big step, but homeschooling is another big step. And I did a story on Instagram on how I came around to her homeschooling. So check it out. So she wanted those things, but I wasn't ready for that to happen. I didn't know how to be a leader of the family. The way I grew up was both parents work to support the family and the kids go to public school or school, whatever. When she first started being a stay-at-home mom, I remember she was like chilling all the time. Like she'd be going out, meeting up friends. Dude, I was like, the house was a mess. Nothing done. Dinner not cooked. I come home like, what is going on? Okay, if you're gonna be home, you need to be doing something.
He really got really mad.
I was super pissed because I remember telling her, like, before any of this, like, there are certain things that you have to get done. If you're gonna be home, this is your job. And so there was a lot of room for growth. She's grown immensely.
Took me a while.
It only took her 5 kids. In all honesty, in order for her to grow, I had to grow that much more, because the more that I became accountable for what I was doing and the slacking off, the hours on Netflix, the spending time with friends and away from my family, all that stuff had to go before I could even consider her being a stay-at-home mom and her homeschooling our kids. Because I was stuck in my own world for the longest time. I didn't know how to transfer from being a kid to being an adult and then to being a parent. Like, all of it just comes by and it's like, figure it out. And it took me a long time. It took me like 3 kids to figure it out. And even now, like, I'm learning too much. It's all wrapped around accountability. Accountability, marriage, we are one flesh now. So me being accountable for myself and knowing that I'm using my time and my resources wisely allows Melinda to use her time and her resources all the more wisely. And so it's, when I grow, she grows. When she grows, I grow. And we both grow together. Like, I have found that we are a pretty good team. I know before John was born that, I don't know, like, I just kind of, there was a rhythm going, and like I knew what to do and I knew how to fill in where she wasn't at. But ever since John was born, I've had a tough time to kind of find my place. Like, she owns this house. I was talking with a friend and he was like, dude, she's just like the coach of the house. Like, she's running all the plays. She's telling the kids where to go, what to do. And I'm like, yeah, she kind of is. And I was like, well, what's my place? Yo, I'm the manager. That's what's up. I'm the boss.
You provide the paycheck.
Yeah, that's my signature.
So I think ultimately being transparent always with each other in all aspects. So if there's somewhere where, you know, if there's a day where I'm like, I can't do this, I need you to do this, please, or just not making, I shouldn't myself feel like I'm failing just by asking him for help. And in the same way, he too, like, I just can't do this. Like, you need to take the kids. I'm done, or something. You know, we just really need to be open and honest of how we feel, and not feel like we're disappointing the other person. You know, like, just know we're here for each other to like help each other and to grow together. I think before we used to think it was like a competition, like, oh, he didn't do this, I'm writing down a list.
Oh yeah, keeping tabs.
Yeah, we were keeping tabs secretly, and that was like probably the first 3 years of marriage. We were
Low key, I still do.
Yeah, we were keeping tabs. I still do too. But I think that's the wrong way to go, because both gonna lose if you do that.
Right.
It's not a competition.
See, hold on, I'm looking at my notes. And Melinda's just done a great job. She has really filled in this role of wife and mother. House is always clean. Dinner is always, well, mostly always clean, and dinner is mostly always cooked. And I love, like, sometimes I come home and she's like packed my lunch for the next day already. All I have to do is pack my breakfast. You know, just noticeably, the more kids we have, it seems like the more we end up doing for each other. I don't know how it happens, but it just kind of does. And the more consideration that we have for one another, because I think we both realize we're going through and we are in it deep. And it's like the only way we're going to get through this thing is if we really just help each other.
I think God had a plan for us, and He knows what we can handle. And He knows that we can't do this by ourselves, and maybe that's why He gave us all these kids, so that we can cling to Him. You're like,
for sure,
right?
If we didn't recognize how weak we are, we wouldn't be able to cling to Him, to really let His strength pour through us. I think that's what I've read. Yeah, that's it. Got anything to say? Let us know. Comments down below.
Have a good week.
Yep. Click, click. No, you do the gun, I'll do the click, click.
Okay.
Click, click. Well, you have to go click, click. Do it. Can you do both hands?
No, I can't.
Do the bang, bang. Okay. Click, click.
Easy.
Forgot to mention, hold on, try this out. Forgot to mention, please tune in next week for our next video in this series of accountability with kids. Okay, that's it.